Okay, well, of all the Minnesota Vikings games in their history, this was definitely one of them. Vikings win 16-13 at the New York Giants. I believe the Giants retain, for now, the number one draft pick, um, which they might have to use on a quarterback. This was not much of a football game. The big story coming out of this game is JJ McCarthy's hurt again. Um, on a stupid play right before halftime where there was a whole sequence where I don't know what they were thinking. They could have maybe been trying to score again. Then they just were taking a bunch of time, and then they run a play, and nobody blocks the guy coming off the edge, the McCarthy blind side, or maybe it wasn't even the blind side. Um, yeah, because it was O'Neal. I think it was O'Neal. I mean, I don't know if it was O'Neal's guy, but it was O'Neal's side. And McCarthy got blasted, and something happened to his hand. Um, I don't even remember if it was actually his throwing hand or not, but it sounds like maybe there's a break or a fracture, something in there. That might be his season. And he actually, you know what, he was actually having a decent game today. He had a nice touchdown run, and he would have had a touchdown pass to Jordan Addison, but Addison dropped the damn thing. There were a couple of drops in that first half. Um, but I mean, you know, building off the last 2 weeks, McCarthy was, um, having some more positive steps. He had like another one that was deflected off of Naylor's hands that would have been a pick six, but it was called back for an offsides. But he played a fairly solid half, and that might be the last half that he plays this year. And of course, that's gonna raise questions about the future. But as far as the rest of this game, the good thing is Justin Jefferson got some stats. He got 6 for 85. I believe he broke the record for the most catches for a receiver in their first 6 years, and I believe he's close to the yardage record for the same thing. Aaron Jones, real nice gutty game from Aaron Jones. We lost Jordan Mason early in the game to an injury. When we get to this point in the season, anything could be a season ender. But Jones gutted it out, and I think he got 85. I think he got 85 also, including a run at the very end to clinch it on a third down. Gutty performance from him. Real nice game from him. Probably maybe his best game of the year. Brosmer played the second half. I mean, it certainly wasn't eye popping, but he made a couple nice throws. There was a really fantastic one on the sidelines to Jefferson, and he made a couple nice throws. Solid caretaker stuff. It's not going to win you either of these last two games, but it was enough to win. To get it done this one and lead the one drive that they had to have late in the game to get Will the Thrill in there for a field goal. Pro Bowl kicker, hopefully. Will the Thrill, maybe all pro kicker. Will the Thrill. Defense was just in their mode almost the whole game, just smothering Jackson Dart. Of course, the Giants didn't even try to pass the ball for much of the first half, but Dart ended up with I think 33 yards. Just crazy. I mean, he had some promising games this year, but this was definitely not one of them for the Giants. Really, I mean, the only touchdown was the play right before the half, which was a sack fumble that was picked up by former Gopher Tyler Nubin and run in for a touchdown. That was the only reason this game was even close, or even in doubt. I mean, it was an offensively challenged game. I think it was less than 400 total yards of offense in this game. But yes, I mean, second time in 3 weeks that the Vikings defense did not allow an offensive touchdown. And even go back to like the Seattle game, they didn't give up one till very late. Green Bay game, they were in terrible spots all game, didn't give up too much. I mean, the defense has played very, very well for the most part. Really all season. Like they've been fine all season, but they've really been good late. They had some injury stuff too. I think today couple guys got hurt. There were a lot of injuries on both sides, a lot of penalties. There was like, I think there might have been over like 200 yards in accepted penalty yardage in this game. It was really just an ugly football game. Um, you know, not, the last two Vikings wins were a lot more entertaining to watch than this. This was just kind of grotesque, but and of course, like the last two games didn't change my opinion too much on JJ McCarthy, but at least he had been, the last 2.5 games of his season, if it proves that his season is over, were at least promising, but in terms of like the performance on the field. But I'm sorry, like, you can't count on this guy. He's gonna because there's always been two issues. It's the play on the field, and then the availability to play on the field. And if this is another significant injury, and I know it's like injuries can happen, but this would be 3, significant injuries in 2 seasons plus the concussion. So, football players do not get less injured as their careers progress. This could just be what he is. He's maybe he can play in the league, but if he can't play consistently, if he can't be healthy and be out on the field, I mean, they can't count on him. And I think, the Vikings play again in 4 days because they play Christmas Day, hosting the Lions. Even if this isn't a break situation for McCarthy, I can't imagine they would throw him back out there in 4 days. He was ruled out of this game pretty quick. So you can't. But you got to assume that he's out for that game at least. And then would they bring him back for the finale against the Packers, who are probably going to be fired up and playing for maybe their playoff lives after what happened last night? I don't know. But either way, it's like I don't think you can credibly say that even just the 2.5 games here at the end, that you saw enough that you can go into 2026 and just hand JJ McCarthy the job. You just can't do it. And you can't do it for you haven't seen enough on the field, and you haven't seen him on the field enough. So they are going to have to do something at the quarterback position in the offseason. And I don't mean maybe if Carson Wentz wants to come back, you get him, or if some, career backup type guy is available. No, there's going to have to be a real plan for QB in the offseason. Doesn't mean you're going to release JJ McCarthy, but you cannot plan on just handing him this job with no, truly stable plan B option at QB, because you just can't do it. And this is of course an issue too. It's like all the focus has been, can he actually play when he's on the field? But if he's going to constantly be hurt, like there have been guys who have been better quarterbacks than JJ McCarthy, but they couldn't stay healthy. We had one, Sam Bradford. He might still be our quarterback if he could be healthy. He might have never left after we got him. And it's like it happens to players in other positions too, but they ain't the face of the franchise. They're not you're not hanging all your hopes on a running back or a receiver. They've hung a lot on JJ McCarthy, and the jury is still very, very much out on whether or not he can play. And he can't stay on the field. He just does not seem to be the kind of guy who can stay healthy. And these have been different injuries. You had the meniscus last year, and then this year the ankle, and then a concussion, and now a hand. So it's different things, but the term injury prone exists for a reason. Some guys just are, and JJ McCarthy might be one of those guys. So we'll see what happens. I don't think. We'll probably find out pretty soon if he's going to play again this season. There's no much point in waiting around. 2 weeks from right now, the season's over anyway. So, but it doesn't seem like it's very likely that he's going to play again this season. And you gotta go figure something out. I don't know if that's Joe Burrow. if it's a big trade, if it's a if it's a little trade, if it's a free agent, I don't know what it's going to be. But you cannot go into next season with JJ McCarthy as QB1 and nothing really behind him. And this was probably the case anyway. But now this is just you can't reasonably expect to do it because jobs will be on the line next season. I don't think anyone's getting fired probably off this season, but jobs will be on the line next season. And if they do this again and McCarthy gets hurt or just doesn't progress, and maybe doesn't progress because he's hurt, people are going to be losing their jobs. So that's the big takeaway from this game. Wasn't much of a football game, but at least we won. I'm glad we won. I mean, this is probably our last win of the year. I don't see Max Brosmer being able to beat the Lions or the Packers, because the Lions are definitely going to still be playing for something next week, and the Packers might be playing for their lives in Week 18. And so that'll be the finish to this disastrous season, is watching Max Brosmer try to engineer wins over playoff desperate division rivals. Oh well. Happy holidays.